based upon where we know you are right now. Not asking you to reach too far into what is beyond where you are, but giving you something beyond where you are, and not giving it to you so abruptly that there's a backlash that causes your mind to wander and activate a vibration that you don't want to activate, but instead gently moving vibrationally into the frequency that's closer to that most expanded place that you have achieved through life experience. Then you have contemplative, obvious, visceral, all of those things meaning known to you right here, right now, breakthroughs. A breakthrough, from our point of view, is just a movement in your grid. And your grid is your current point of attraction. And your current point of attraction is everything, because that's the way other people, that's the way your own thoughts, that's the way everything responds to you, based upon that grid, that point of attraction, that vibration, that belief system. So since a thought is an active vibration, and that thought affects your grid, and the thoughts that you keep thinking equal your beliefs, and so your beliefs equals your chronic grid or your chronic point of attraction, we don't think there's a better subject to contemplate than what you're doing vibrationally, which means we then got to talk about how you're feeling, because how you're feeling is the only way you know what you're doing vibrationally in relationship to the only other thing that matters. In other words, it doesn't matter how you're doing vibrationally in relationship to your neighbor or to your mother or to your past. It doesn't matter how you're doing vibrationally in relationship to what the polls say, or to what peer group pressure says, or to what the rules, religious and secular, say. The only thing that matters is your vibrational relationship to your furthest, most expanded beingness, which means your relationship to what man wants to call God. We prefer to say your relationship to the larger part of you, to your inner being, to the source within you, to the expanded you that's in your vortex. Okay, Abraham, there's a grid and there's a vortex. You going to talk about anything real? No. We want to talk to you about vibration because you've been real for long enough. You've been focused upon real manifestations. You've been sorting them into piles for so long, you don't even know what to do with your piles anymore. Where should I put this belief? How does this belief fit with that belief? Well, what about the way these people are raising their children? And what about these laws? What about these laws in this country? And what about these laws relative to the laws in that country? And what about the way those people think? And what about that thing that happened to me before? And we say, we are surprised that as many of you are sane as are. Because as you sort these piles of manifestation, you don't come to any conclusions that serve you. You just mostly assemble your piles and call them good piles and bad piles, or a better pile and a not so good pile. But in all of your attention to all of the manifestations that surround you, what you're really doing that really matters is you're practicing thoughts, you're creating beliefs, you're accomplishing a vibrational grid that equals your point of attraction. And so everything that comes back to you is about mostly what you're doing with your piles. Your opinions about the world in which you live cause you to practice a vibration that equals your point of attraction. So what that does, and it's sort of an interesting thing to watch it happen, is you just keep supporting your own beliefs because law of attraction backs that up every time. If you believe that you are being treated unjustly and you keep that vibration active within you, those that match that belief in you will flock to you like moths to a flame. And you will announce to the world, this is an unjust world, or I am a victim because look at this train of stuff that is coming to me. But when you accept that it is a vibrational world, not a stuff world, that it is a vibrational world, just not a manifested world, that it is a vibrational world, and that in every moment you can read, you can recognize, you can know your vibrational offering as it relates to your most expanded being, that part that we talked about as we first began here, that expanded you that you can't hold back. When you start caring about alignment with that, rather than that, I care about how I feel, period. I care about how I feel, which means I'm going to choose the thought that most replicates the thought that the source within me is thinking about the thing that I'm thinking about in the moment that I'm thinking about it. You get that? You're thinking a thought. You're thinking a thought unless you're asleep. You're thinking a thought. Your mind is active, your point of attraction is active, and you have the option of moving your point of attraction closer to all that you are and all that you want, or further from all that you are and all that you want. You have that option in every moment, but you don't exercise it because you're observing rather than sensing vibration most of the time. So for most of you, we love you so much. You don't really start thinking about something until you have a manifestation that you don't like, and then you know what you think about? The manifestation you don't like. It's hard for you to think about the flip side of something that you don't like.